by far the hardest loss for me. I know we lost on the road in the tournament in South Dakota, but tonight is gut-wrenching. I mean, honestly, it's the hardest loss for me tonight.
We'll start with Terry.
Hey, Coach, your team normally shoots free throws really well, and you guys have had a track record this year of missing a lot of layups. How can that be rectified?
I guess just focus. Guys are going in there, and you know that the bigs are going to be in there, and you just got to make shots. On the road, you have to do it. At home, a little more comfortable. On the road, you got to lock in, man, and I think the focus isn't there always. So maybe it's just one of those games, man, that this game was a lot of craziness going on, missing a lot of free throws and layups.
Jason?
Hey, Penny, of the issues that sort of contributed to the loss tonight, the free throws, the three-point shooting, some of the easy looks that were missed, and John, the Powell kid for Auburn going off for 26. What's the most? And then if there's something I didn't mention, what was the most disappointing thing about tonight for you?
Well, the most disappointing thing was we weren't ready to do the required work to win the game. They played desperate, and we just played. And even with saying that, we missed that many free throws. We shot horrible from the three-point line, and we missed a ton of layups. We have this thing in our gym where we call them kills, where you get 3 stops in a row. We had one in the first half, one in the second half, and we almost had 6 others that counted up for 13 points. And this is getting 3 stops in a row, and we know that, and we weren't willing to go to that level. In these games, I've noticed that so many guys, they check out when they're not playing well offensively, when they're not making shots. That affects them on the defensive end and with rebounding. And we have to mature and grow up going into conference because those things just hurt. They hurt badly.
Is that something you can fix, or do you just have to sort of let the guys naturally, organically mature, like you said?
It's something that just has to be in you. We're going to keep pushing because we're fighting every day. The way that we practice is way harder than the games. We just have to be able to carry it over. It just has to be what's in the kids. They have to make up their minds to do it. And the one thing that I do know about this era of kids is that they if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. If they're not, they're not. And you just got to sub and try to get the next guy out there, and hopefully they do it. And unfortunately, when you got 2 or 3 guys that you're subbing for that are doing the same thing, then it becomes a hard night.
Danielle?
Between this loss and the earlier ones in South Dakota, it seems like the same issues are popping up, but they're manifesting in different ways. And by that, I mean, kind of the selfish play and the effort lacking. Is that kind of how you see it? And why do you think that those issues persisted? Yeah,
it's definitely something that we talk about in practice. It's something that we talk about before the games, in shoot-arounds. And like I said, you just got to keep a revolving door and keep subbing guys that don't want to do it. But it gets to a point to where there's so many guys that aren't doing it that you got to go with someone and then beg and plead, hey, man, you have to play defense. You have to make the extra pass. You have to rebound. And it's something that we just got to keep pushing as coaches. We have to. I mean, these guys, I feel like they really want to win. I think that they want to do it at their own comfort level. They don't want to get uncomfortable getting the win, and that's not how it works on this level.
Any other questions for Coach?
I've got to follow up if I can, Gene.
Go for it. Yeah.
What do you think of the guard play tonight, Penny? I know that was something that had maybe improved a little bit over the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, Damian and Alo are trying to do it by committee. We're just not strong in that area right now. Damian is coming off a back. No excuses for that. Alex mentally was kind of, all over the place for a second. They just have to come together and be leaders. And we have the support. We're giving it to them in practice. We're showing it on film. And it's just up to them. I'm going to support them. And I know that they can do it, but they have to get better. We have to get better at the guard spot because we're going to need them. We're really going to need them.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, what positive can you take to this game to try to, to start the conference on Wednesday?
Well, the positives are if we just do the required work, that we're going to win ball games. You got to be tougher than the next group. You got to be willing to take the charges. You got to be willing to get on the floor. You got to be willing to box out and rebound. If we do that offensively, we're good enough. Even though our offense is kind of shooting threes is not what we're doing well right now, but getting that many free throws every night, I like. Getting that many layup opportunities, I like. Staying in the paint, staying at the free throw line, and then showing up things on the defensive end are the positives that I see that we can just take to conference and do really well.
Janrica?
Now, Coach, you've been coaching a lot of these guys when they were younger, and you know them more than anybody and their ability to win. Would you say that guys like Alex Lomax, Jaden Hardaway, Malcolm Dandridge, would you say that they've improved coming from high school and adjusting to college, going into you all's conference?
Well, I think on this level, there's more distractions. What I can say is those guys have gotten more distracted as they've gotten older. You know, when you come to this level, you have to stay locked in. In high school, they were so locked in because there wasn't as many distractions. And sometimes I see them get distracted and they're not able to reach the potential that I know that they have inside of them. And that's for all three of those guys. And they just got to get locked in. They're not focused enough right now to take us to the next level because they know what I want already going into the games. They're supposed to be helping the other guys understand that, but also doing it themselves by leading by example.
Last question, Jason.
Penny, it sounds like one way or the other, you likely going to have Deandre for Tulane next week. Just kind of, do you think that? I mean, that'll obviously help, right? Like, you're looking forward to that, I would assume.
Yeah, I think it's a crazy stat that just helps you understand who DeAndre Williams is. He was in the top 5 last year in the country in plus minus for the plus. Like, he led Evansville in every statistical category. That says who he is. And he's all energy and he's a leader. So with us seeing that every day in practice, man, we would not have 3 losses right now if he was on the floor. I promise you that, because his energy is just contagious and he's a leader and he hates to lose. So when he gets on the floor without putting a lot of pressure on the situation, because he's still going to have to get his rhythm, you're going to see a humongous change when he steps on the floor.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.